we're doing the notes for squares and rhombus that you got yesterday. A rhombus is a parallelogram. It has 4 congruent sides. So what we're going to do first is we're going to graph these. How do I graph y equals 3?
1, 3, 2, 3.
Good. So if y is 3, here's your x's and here's your y's. If your y's are 3s, then my x's can be whatever we want it to be. 1, 2, 3. So over 1 up 3, over 2 up 3, over 3 up 3. So that means that my line is going to look like this one right here. Everybody with me? And then it wants me to translate the first equation, the one we just did, 6 units down. So now we need to translate that line 6 units down. What does translate mean? Slide. So we're going to move it 6 units down. And basically I should end up with a line that's right here, correct? Oops. Everybody good with that? What's that new equation?
Y equals negative.
Good. Y equals a negative 3. Okay? Now, they want us to graph, and it may be bad on your paper. It should say y is equal to 4/3 x minus 5. Where would I start? At negative 5. And then what would I do?
And then move the slope. Move forward.
Good. Up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And to the right 3. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. And to the right 3. Okay? So now I have this line right here. Everybody good with that so far? Now what do they want me to do with it? Translate equation 3. This is equation 3. Where? Can you do that? Did they want me to change the slope? No. If I'm moving that line, I want it to look exactly the same. I just want to move it up 10. So if I started at negative 5, then I'm going to go up to a positive 5. And I'm still going to go up 4 and over 3. In this case, I'm going to go down 4 and to the left 3. And now I would have this new line right here. Everybody good with that? Are we okay? All right. Okay. So, what's my new equation?
Y equals 4/3 x plus 5.
Very good. And can you see that rhombus inside here? I'm not going to really shade it because of what I'm going to do next. But you can see this rhombus right in the middle of it, right? Okay. Now they want us to draw the diagonals of that rhombus. And we're trying to find out what's the equation of those diagonals. If I'm going to find the diagonals, they go from here to here, right? Well, what's that equation? What would I do to find that equation? What are the 2 things I need? The slope. Good. So the slope tells me I'm going to go up how many? 6, right? And then over how many? 12? So it's 6 over 12x. And that's where's my starting point? Where does it go through the y-axis? Where does it go through the y-axis? At the origin, which would be 0. Okay, let's try the second diagonal. It goes from right here to right here. Now notice that isn't right on a point, is it? It's actually halfway, because if I counted this, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a half. And down here would also be 7.5, right? Okay, so my slope would be down 6 and over 3. Down 6 and over 3. Does it also go through the origin? So what do you notice about these? Are they opposite reciprocals? Well, I have a 6 and a 12 and a 6 and a 3.
No. Wait, no. You have to reduce it.
Aha, how do I reduce 6 over 12?
That's by 6.
And it would give me what? 1/2 x. And how do I reduce negative 6 over 3? Okay, and it would give me what? So now somebody tell me, what do you notice about those? They're opposite reciprocal. Very good. What does that mean? That means that they're perpendicular. That means that when I have a rhombus, any rhombus, every rhombus, that this angle measure right up here is 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Always, 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 always. Are we okay? So now what I know, thinking back, is that all my sides are the same. I know that those are 90 degrees. I know that the diagonals bisect each other, don't they? So that means that this one here is the same as this one, and this one here is the same as this one, correct? Now tell me, what do you notice about those triangles then? They're what? They are right triangles. So what do you notice about this triangle and that triangle?
Oh wait, no, it's different. It's slanted.
Okay, look, this side's congruent to this side, right? This side's the same for both of them, isn't it? And isn't this side the same as this one? Isn't that side, 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 side? Aren't those triangles the same? Would this triangle right here be the same as this triangle right here? Would this triangle right here be the same as this triangle right here? So what I really have are 4 congruent right triangles. All those triangles are exactly the same. Are we okay with that? Remember, on a rectangle, we didn't. We just had the right and the left were the same, the top and the bottom were the same. But on a rhombus, I have 4 congruent triangles. So what do you notice about the slopes of the diagonals? They were opposite reciprocals. What conclusion can you make about the diagonals of a rhombus? They are perpendicular, which means they form 90 degrees. We also know that they bisect each other. Okay, Ms. Ramsey, I'm not sure what you're saying. That was a pretty messy picture right there, wasn't it? Okay, so let's look at this nice, pretty new picture right here. If I have a rhombus, I know that these diagonals bisect each other. That's what we learned way back when, that these two right here cut each other in half, and these two are going to be the same. Would you agree with that? I know on a rhombus that all of my sides are going to be the same. Is everybody okay with that? What we just learned now is that these angles right here are 90 degrees. Are we okay with that? Always, 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 forever, forever in a rhombus. This is what we know every single time. The only part that I haven't taught you yet is that the diagonals of a rhombus bisect their vertex angle. What that means is that if I told you that this was 30 degrees, don't we have alternate interior angles? But what it also means is that this one right here is also 30 degrees. That this blue line right here cuts this angle into 2 equal parts, only on a rhombus. Well, if that one is 30 and this one is 90, how do I find this angle? Good, 90 plus 30 is 120. This is a triangle. How big is a triangle? So 180 minus the 120 gives me 60. So this angle right here is 60. Guess what this angle over here is? 60. And then up here? 60 and 60. Are we okay? Let's take a look at the back. So let's do our blue foldable. Let's look at our blue foldable. We've already written down about parallelograms and rectangles. Now we need to write down about rhombus. There's 3 things that we're going to add about a rhombus. So in this one, it's telling us it is a rhombus. It says the measure of angle BAC is 32 degrees. Find each of the numbered ones. Which one should I know right away without even having to think? 90 degrees, right? Aren't all of these right here going to be 90 degrees? If this one's 32, then this one should be 32. And the ones over here are both 32. Would you agree with me? Right? Because we have alternate interior angles? How in the world would I find out angle 1 and angle 2? Good. 90 plus 32 is 122. 180 minus 122 would be a 58. And both of them would be the same, wouldn't they? Okay, on the next one, angle ABD. Angle ABD is 60 degrees. How big would angle BDC be? How big would this angle be? If this one is 60, how big is this one? 60, right? Aren't they alternate interior? And if that one's 60, this one's 60, this one's 60, and that one's 60. Okay? Now, if AE is 8, how big is AC? If AE is 8, how big is AC? Well, how big would this little piece right here be? 8. So how big is AC? 16. Remember, these are bisect each other, right? So AC would be 16. Excellent. Here's the one that's a little more difficult. You have to think outside the box a little bit. It's telling me that AB is 26. And then it's going to tell me that BD is 20. BD is 20, right? How big is AE? It's a rhombus. Any ideas of what to do? What can I do with the 20? I could split it in half, absolutely. So this would be 10 and this would be 10. It's a rhombus. What else do we know about a rhombus? Right. How big is this right here? Ha-ha. So now what I have is a right triangle where this side is 26 and this side is 10. How would I find that one? Oh. Pythagorean theorem. Absolutely. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Which one's my C squared? 26. Good. So x squared plus 10 squared equals 26 squared. X squared plus 100. 26 squared, I think, somebody double check me, is 676. Is that right? Then what would I do? What would I do next?
When you subtract 100.
Good. Subtract 100 from both sides. So x squared is equal to 576, and then I would take the square root. So I believe that x equals 24, if I remember correctly. Are we okay? Next one, how big is CEB? How big is angle CEB? 90 degrees. Always, always, always. Okay? Next one. It said that CBD is 58. How big is ACB? 32, why? Okay, because that would be 90, so 90 plus 58 is 148. 180 minus 148